Hello, this is Leonard Brannon, the CEO, superintendent, and co-founder of Cityscape Schools, and we're just glad to be with you again this afternoon, coming to your home or at your place of business or in the car or wherever you may be today. This is our 2 o'clock Facebook Live, YouTube Parent Town Hall, and we are here to give you some updates. We've got some special guests today again that'll be answering questions and giving you more information. And so I just want to go ahead and get started this afternoon and let you know and remind you that on the 5th of October, which is about 10 days or so maybe from now, we'll be opening up to face-to-face instruction at both of our campuses. And we are working feverishly to make sure everything is in place and is ready. And so we are excited to finally get to see some of your children for the first time this year. And I know that they'll be excited also. And we'll be continuing to do both face-to-face and at-home virtual learning. And again, all of you that have made the choices, you'll have until the end of this first 9-week period to change your mind again, which will be about 2 weeks before the 9-week period is over. And we'll be sending out information and giving you that opportunity. I am glad to say that in Dallas County, our COVID infection rate is continuing to show some downward trends, and also we're still in the orange at-risk level, which the Dallas County Health Department and Dallas County is now recommending that we can return back to school for those that want face-to-face instruction. And so we're excited about those opportunities, and we're excited to have your children back and let you know that we've done everything we can to be as safe as possible. Now, I don't really want to take a lot more time this afternoon, but I want to turn it over to our Chief Academic Officer, Elda Rojas, and she will be introducing some of our special guests today.
Good afternoon, families. It's so great to connect with you once again. I want to make sure this mic is on. Testing. I'm so sorry. I hope you can hear me.
You go, Mr. Brannon, and we'll check on that. Can you just say something else?
Okay.
Yeah, we have a little technical glitch right now as our new person coming up. Let me let you take this, Eldon. You can introduce, and he'll try to.
Oh, it seems like the light came on. Is it working? Testing. No? Okay. No. Thank you so much. Technology, right? We have to make the adjustments necessary. It's so wonderful to connect with you once again. We look forward to these sessions with you so we can make sure to address any of the questions you may have and also fill you in on some updates. And so today we do have a very special guest we're going to be introducing really soon. But first I want to go over a few brief items. It is the 12th day of school. We blink and days fly by, right? I hope your children are enjoying their classes. I hope that you have been able to connect with every one of your teachers. I know they're excited. We walk through classrooms and through the hallways, and teachers are on track and connecting with your students, and they're preparing every single day. And I see them even on weekends connecting and sending emails, and so excited about the opportunity to serve and to teach your children. And so please maximize on those opportunities, ensuring that your child attends on a daily basis. It's so important that you connect on a daily basis with the teachers and inform them if there are any issues that you are facing at home. We want to just reiterate how excited we are about October 5th, about the face-to-face return of students for those who select that. But do keep in mind, school has started. Like I said, it's the 12th day of school. It will continue. If you have selected virtual at-home learning, the process will continue the same, whether they're in person or at home. The rigor is the same, the assignments are the same, the connections will continue on a daily basis, so your child will not miss out whether they're at home or here in person. And so, you know, there are so many different services and departments that work together to benefit all of our students. And with that, we have a very special guest today, and that is Miss Lisa Johnson, who is the coordinator of Special Education Services and Special Populations. We've asked Lisa to join us today to share on some of the items that connect us to your students in regards to their specialized needs. And so, Lisa, thank you for joining us today. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Would you please just go over a few of the items that parents can look forward to either receiving or they may have already received?
Absolutely. I would like to just give a brief overview of what special populations are at Cityscape Schools. Special populations encompasses special education services or students who have an IEP, Section 504 services or students who have an IAP, that's an individual accommodation plan, and it also covers students who are considered to be gifted and talented. So we are providing programming for all of those students who make up the special populations at Cityscape. Students with dyslexia may be served either in Section 504 or in special education, depending on the testing results that were obtained and their need for individualized instruction. Something I'm very, very excited about and excited to share with everyone is that we have put together bags of goodies that are on the children's IEPs or IAP. And I'm really excited to let parents know that we will be sending a bag of these items home for them to use at home. So for example, if on their IAP they have a timer to help them move from one activity to another, then we will be supplying them a timer to use at home. If they need visual aids or flashcards according to their IAP or IEP, we will be sending home age and grade appropriate flashcards for them to use at home. We're supplying calculators, assignment planners, so anything that is on that IAP or IEP, they will have a bag to use at home, and they will have a bag of their own to use in the classroom so that there's no sharing of materials, no danger of cross-contamination of materials, and that they will definitely have what they need while they are doing virtual or face-to-face learning. I would like to point out that even the students who come back face-to-face, they still will be participating in virtual learning. It will just be here at school. Their services that are provided on their IEP or their IAP will still be provided virtually until we are further along in the all clear, mostly because our dyslexia teacher is not, doesn't live here in Dallas. He is in San Antonio, and so he does all of those services online. We have a wonderful new speech and language pathologist, but she will be utilizing an online platform for speech services at EGP, and Ms. Brown, who will be continuing to provide the speech services at Buckner. We also have a bilingual speech and language pathologist who is serving our students who have bilingual speech and language therapy needs. For the inclusion and pull-out services that are provided on their IEPs, Ms. Kasinger and Ms. Smith and Ms. Wilson will continue to monitor the classrooms, plan and accommodate and modify assignments with the general education teachers, and then they will be inviting students to breakout rooms to provide that one-on-one assistance. They would like for parents to know that if you feel like your child needs some extra assistance through special education, please do reach out either to me or directly to Ms. Kasinger or Ms. Smith, and they will schedule a one-on-one call or a one-on-one Zoom session with your child to better understand their needs or what they're not making adequate progress on. Something that Ms. Kasinger and the other teachers wanted me to make sure that parents understand is that even though we are learning from home, we still have expectations for our students. We want our students to have a home office, if you will, a place where they can focus and concentrate and not be distracted by other household activities, perhaps, other siblings who are also doing virtual learning. I think sometimes it's even more important for students in special populations to have that routine and structure so that they can focus their attention. We want students to engage with the teachers. We want students to have their cameras on. And we want students to not be lying in bed when they're attending their math class. We want them to be up and attentive. I know if I'm trying to learn while I'm lying on the couch, I'm more than likely going to fall asleep or get distracted by something. So if you need help arranging or setting up a study area or any ideas for setting aside an area where your child can focus, please let me know, and I'd be happy to help you with that. I want parents to understand that even though we are learning online and virtually, it really is important that our students are logging in daily and attending all of their sessions. If the special education teacher invites them to a breakout room, then it's important that they do go to that breakout room and have that one-on-one time with the teacher. Likewise, I know you guys have been wonderful about attending your speech sessions, but if you have any questions at all about how to log in or how to make sure your middle school students are logging in, then please let us know, because we have built schedules around the students' schedules so that they will be missing as little direct instruction as possible. Same goes for the dyslexia classes, which will be starting this coming week. We have a much larger program than we had last year, and Mr. Scarnati has had to hire another teacher to accommodate all of our students. And he is doing level setting with those new students to make sure that they get put in the appropriate group so that we can start and hit the ground running, so to speak. I'm happy to answer any questions that parents might have.
Do we have any questions at this time? Okay. I do have a question, Ms. Johnson. Why is it important for parents to attend ARDS?
That's a wonderful question, and I would say that the same answer goes for IEP and IAP meetings, so ARD meetings or Section 504 meetings. We really value parent input, and we believe that parents are the experts on their children. So, we get them at school, and their teachers know them very, very well. However, parents know things about students that we can't know, and that they are able to advocate for their students and ask for things that we can support them in as we address the entire child, the whole child. And I realize that work schedules and scheduling of ARD meetings and IEP meetings is sometimes not possible, but we are happy to meet with parents before or after the ARD meeting to review any decisions that were made. And I want parents to remember that IEPs don't go into effect until 5 days after that meeting if parents aren't there to give that permission.
Oh, so I see it's crucial, actually. I'm a parent of 4 kids. I would want to be involved with any decisions that a school's going to make on best practices or instructional supports, et cetera. So it's super important, parents. It is an opportunity for you to collaborate with the team to ensure that your child receives the best services. I have another question. We've been asked lately about dyslexia and dyslexia classes. Can you give us a little bit more insight as to what's taking place with dyslexia?
Absolutely. I touched on it a little bit earlier that we have a very robust program here at EGP and at Buckner, and our numbers have grown significantly. We are continuing to contract with Mr. Scarnati, who is wonderful, and the kids love him. But there's so many kids, there's not enough hours in the day for Mr. Scarnati to serve all of them. So they have hired and trained 2 additional instructors, both who are bilingual, as Mr. Scarnati is, and they will be serving some of the dyslexia groups. I may have mentioned that because we have so many new students joining, we have to make sure that we place them appropriately in the group so that they're not slowing a group down or bored while a group is working on skills that they've already mastered. So that's what is happening right now. They're doing mastery checks and seeing where the student is with their skill level and then placing them in the appropriate group. Parents should expect to get an email through school status or a text through school status to let them know when their students' dyslexia classes will begin, just like they've been getting those messages about their speech sessions.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson. Mr. Tequadel, any questions so far?
They are not related to special education, but to our operation when we come back to school. Parents are asking, so will the kids need a mask and need to follow every rule of law, or will they just be 6 feet away with no mask? Will the children require masks? Once the kids go back to school, do they need to wear masks or 6 feet away? Before we answer to that, we encourage you to go and download the guides that we have online. If you go to our website, there's a special section for parents and coming back to school. And that outlines exactly every single procedure that we're going to have in place. In previous sessions, Mr. Brown, the superintendent, has explained to a very detailed all of the things we're doing, cleaning-wise, how are we preparing the classrooms, having plexiglass, etc., and all those details are there. To answer the question, yes, students will be required a mask every day, to wear a mask every day. And once they get into their classrooms, they will also be wearing a face shield every day. As you may know, we have plexiglass dividers in the desks, to make sure that we distance everybody. And we are positioning all the desks to make sure that they're at 6 feet apart at all times. If during an activity or any other circumstance, the 6 feet rule is not completely met, that's why we have masks and face shields in place. But we're trying to take every precaution, and every student and every staff member, as well as any visitor, if any arrives, which is right now not encouraged at all, they will be wearing masks, and everybody will be checked for temperature. So that's what we're going to be doing. I don't know if they want to add anything else.
No, that's very important, parents. We talked to you before about staying informed, stay in communication with us. So we thank you for joining us, and thank you for those questions, because things do change overnight almost, right? And we want to make sure that you are kept abreast of any changes and you have all the most recent updates. And so thank you, and keep those questions coming forward. If there's not any questions that come to mind right now for Ms. Johnson, and you think of something later, please send those in, and we'll make sure that she gets the questions, and we'll be adding them to our FAQs for you to be able to access them later. Ms. Johnson, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I would like to let parents know that we are going to offer technology-related training for parents to address the ARD and 504 meeting attendance. We plan to hold those sessions September the 29th from 10 to 11 for English-speaking parents, and from 2 to 3 for Spanish-speaking parents. And those will be live Zoom sessions where we will show you how to log into the ARD meetings and how to troubleshoot that technology, because we realize that it can be a little daunting to try to do everything virtually.
And so for parents who already have children participating in the programs, they will be receiving an invite, a Zoom link?
Yes,
Okay.
we will try to send that out through school status. And if you don't get a school status invite to that meeting, please do let the school know, and we'll make sure that we get that information to you.
We have a question for you. This is my daughter's first year in EGP, and she'd been in dyslexia since 2nd grade. What do I need to do to enroll her for this year? She's in 7th grade now.
That's an excellent question. I would ask that parent either email or bring a copy of the paperwork for her previous services from her previous school to the school building, and they will get it to me. I will look over that paperwork and contact the parent and go from there. We will either schedule what's called a transfer ARD meeting, or we will schedule a 504 meeting to put those services into place.
We have some more operational questions. We have parents asking about who's providing the masks and who's providing the face shields. We will be providing 3 reusable masks for the students. So we will be giving the students a mask. That mask can be taken home because it's reusable, it can be washed, and we expect for you parents to keep them clean. The face shield is going to stay in the school. We've explained a couple of times how this is going to look, and again, the guide explains all this in detail. Your kid will get into the carpool line, or will get into the line for walkers, and we will check the temperature of every kid at that point. If temperature is less than 100.4 degrees, they will be able to come into the building. They will be using their mask the moment they walk out of their car or they're waiting in line. As they go directly to their classrooms, in their classrooms, the face shields will be there. Obviously, every kid will have their own face shield, and they will be wearing it the rest of the day. At the end of the day, they can leave the face shield, which will be sanitized, like the whole classroom will be every night, and they can go back to home wearing their mask. So they will be wearing the mask at all times and the face shield during school. We have a question about lunch in the classroom. They will be eating lunch in the classroom every day. If they're here, we will be providing meals, breakfast and lunch in the classroom, and they'll be separated.
And I just want to add, parents, that it's very important for you to stay connected with us, because as we begin school face-to-face, there may be some changes, and we will always keep you informed. So these sessions are so important. And I want to thank Ms. Johnson once again for joining us and for providing this information for you. There's another spot for you to stay in tune with, and that is our website. I know Ms. Johnson provides uploaded information for you to access any services, information on services you may be inquiring about. And her information, email, phone number is also on there. So feel free to continue to reach out. And we look forward to next week's session with you, Ms. Johnson, of the parent session. So you'll have more detailed information, and I'm sure the presentation is going to go over more details for the families.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And now we're going to transition parents back to our next step, rather, and that is to principals. We have both principals of East Grand Preparatory and Buckner Preparatory. And I'm going to ask Dr. Miranda to join us from East Grand Preparatory, and Mrs. Wade.
In the meantime, we have questions from parents. One is, what would be the hours for pre-K3 face-to-face? I don't know if one of you wants to. What will be the hours for pre-K3 face-to-face?
Good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here once again. The hours for pre-K, it's 7:50 to 3 o'clock. Basically the same hours that we had last year. But you asking specifically for pre-K we want to start school at 8. So around 7:50 to 3 o'clock. The rest of the grade levels is 8 to 3:30.
For Buckner Preparatory Pre-K3 will be, the doors will open at 7:30, school starts at 8, and we will dismiss at 3:30. So 8 to 3:30.
One parent is asking if there's a way to arrange for virtual and face-to-face mixed arrangements, I guess. They want to have virtual a couple of days a week and face-to-face some other days. They're asking if that's an option. I can provide the answer to that. Right now, that is not an option. We need to make sure that we have the same number of students so we can ensure that every classroom has exactly the same number of students every time, and we don't go above a safe number. And that's why we are asking you to commit to the 9-week periods. So again, at the end of the 9 weeks, you will have the choice again to decide if you want your kid to come to school or stay virtual at home. You'll have that at that point. Will face-to-face classes be held simultaneously with virtual classes?
As of right now, yes, they will happen simultaneously. Virtual students who are receiving virtual instruction will be able to interact with the students who are receiving in-person instruction and vice versa. So yes, that will happen together.
Another question, when face-to-face starts, will students need to bring Chromebooks to and from school every day?
Yes, so either EGP or Buckner, we have provided, the district has made a point of providing one-on-one devices. And that is a very important decision because we want every kid to have access to a device. So whether you're choosing face-to-face or your child is going to stay at home, the device is very important. That your Chromebook or your iPad or a tablet has to be charged and ready to go, because regardless of the model that you're using, you have to be ready with your device.
Just want to expand very quickly on that. Parents, remember that all the decisions we're taking and making regarding opening and the dates and all of that, all of the decisions are guided by CDC, federal government rules, state rules, and also the local rules from the Dallas County. Whether it's the Office of Judge Jenkins at the Dallas County or their Department of Health Services. If for any reason, we're not trying to call for that, but if for any reason there's a sudden peak and the county needs to make a sudden decision to send everybody home again, or the state or whoever makes the decision, we need to be ready to transition. And the plan is that every student will be ready to transition online if that is the case. We're hoping that will not be the case, and Mr. Brown was sharing how the numbers keep trending downwards, but we want to be ready for any instance. I have a question about, it's a follow-up question, Ms., for special ed. The child that we're talking about, or maybe it's another child, my child was going to start her dyslexia class in first grade last year. Then COVID started, and I only filled out and took back paperwork to school, but nothing else happened. What can I do now to get her started with her EDP in second grade? We don't have the name of the family, but we're gonna try to get that in a private message, because that's a very specific case, and we'll make sure that is considered, and we will get a response from somebody either principals or Ms. Lisa Johnson directly, and we're gonna go ask to our staff to get that. Those are all the questions we have so far. I don't know if there's any announcements.
So for Buckner Preparatory, we have two special things going on starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is September 24th. Parents, you'll have an opportunity to have conversations with myself and our assistant principal, Mr. Ledesma. So please tune in tomorrow at 8:30. A special Zoom link was sent via school status as well as through your email, and it was also posted on Facebook. So if you haven't already checked those areas, please check it, because we definitely want to have a nice dialogue with you. So if you have questions, we want to make sure we're able to answer it. So grab your cup of coffee and a sweet pastry and join us at 8:30 in the morning with dialogue and donuts with your administrators. The second thing that's going on tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow is our Rock the School Day. We're just celebrating engagement and learning, and we want our kids to be excited about learning. So please check out the Facebook post that was posted, and we encourage our students to rock out rocker style and show their BP pride tomorrow, but we want to definitely encourage school pride and student engagement and learning tomorrow. So again, join us for those two events, and we look forward to seeing you.
You have some follow-up questions. So my son will need to carry their Chromebook every day. Yes. Will they have recess? And I know you have other announcements.
Well, the question about recess. Well, the backpack first, yes. And currently we're looking at maybe a lighter backpack. We don't want you to bring stuff back and forth because of everything that's happening. But of course, you need someone to carry your Chromebook. So that's something that we're still in conversation with. Hopefully, we can provide something as the district. I still have to ask permission. But that is a great question. The question about recess, it just depends on the campus. There's a different number of students at different campuses. So because EGP is a larger campus, we're still not sure about recess because, again, the number of students. I think that BP has another plan.
Right now, we're reviewing our recess plan, and more information will be provided. So we're looking at all avenues in terms of allowing our students to participate in recess, and we will definitely communicate that to you as soon as we review our plan.
Okay, so for our East Grand parents, we also gonna have a coffee and conversations with the administrators tomorrow at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 9:45. We have posted the link via Facebook and also was sent to your email. Please, please, please make sure that you join us. I love these meetings and these Wednesday town halls, but tomorrow you're gonna have access to the 3 administrators, myself, Mr. Dickerson, and Ms. Logish, so you can have specific questions, because as you can see, right now, we have questions, but we don't know who you're asking. But tomorrow you'll have a chance to have specific questions, so join us, have a sticky note with all the questions ready for us, and we're looking forward for tomorrow, 9 o'clock, don't forget. And I also wanna tell you about next week, since last week is our last week of virtual learning. Our teachers are excited. We can't wait to see our students, your kids. But for next week, we're gonna celebrate. We're still gonna learn. It's a week of learning, but we're gonna celebrate every day. We want you to check again our Facebook post. But for Monday, we're asking for our students to have Crazy Hair Day. So start getting prepared for that. Monday, Crazy Hair Day. Tuesday, a sport hat and a jersey. Wednesday, draw or grow a mustache and a cowboy hat. Thursday, shades and a superhero shirt. And for Friday, is gonna be our Frida Kahlo Day, because we're also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month all this month from September 15 to October 15. So don't forget, Friday, Frida Kahlo Day. Thank you.
We have some other questions. Parent is asking for an update on the pre-K tablets. We are working with Acer directly and trying to get an estimated time of arrival. We don't have that time yet. As we have mentioned before, every school district in the nation is trying to get devices, either Chromebooks or tablets or devices. So there's months of wait if you try to put an order right now. We did not do that. We had the order before, but still there's several gaps in the supply chain. So we're still waiting on that. Are kids still coming back to school on October 5th? Yes, if you selected to come back to school at home, at school instruction face-to-face, yes, they're coming back on October 5th. If you selected online or at virtual at home, you're still gonna be at home. Is there a school supply list for pre-K3 at EGP? Yes, there is. It's posted on our website, and I'm gonna make sure that we repost links on both our feeds and YouTube and Facebook, so you can get access to that. But yes, we have supply lists. We have no other questions at this time.
If there's no other questions, we're going to go ahead here in just a minute and let you go a little early today. But before we do that, I just again want to remind everyone that we are going to be open for face-to-face instruction starting October 5th. We will be here. If you have additional questions or things that you need to ask or learn about, you can also contact each office at each campus, and they'll be there to help answer questions. We also have our 2 manuals that we've created. One was primarily set up to talk about how the students would come into the buildings and how they would be picked up every day. And it also talks about our 2 learning models at home instruction and also our face-to-face instruction and how that will be done during this COVID time. And the other one was really a manual that we created just for our employees. But I wanted you to see that. I wanted you to be able to get your hands on that because I wanted you to see the preparation and everything that we're requiring to not only keep our students safe, but also to keep our staff safe. And so we are looking forward to that reopening. We do believe that the trend is moving downward, and we're happy for that. A couple other things I would like to remind you about. we're getting ready to get into the flu season. So I really want to encourage you to please, for yourself, your family, and for your children, to get flu shots. If you have insurance, you could go at different places, CVS, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to your local doctor. If you don't have insurance or whatever, you can go to any of the Dallas County Health area offices where they will be providing these free for anyone that lives in Dallas County. And this is really more critical this year than it ever has been, because one of the challenges is going to be that COVID and you getting the common flu looks very much the same. And we also do not want to overwhelm our hospitals or ICUs or emergency rooms because of a lot of people that maybe in the past you've never gotten these vaccinations, but I would really encourage that to our public. And also, we are hoping and believing that we'll get a vaccine also for COVID. It's not looking like it's going to happen really soon, but maybe hopefully in the next few months we'll see something come out. And as soon as that's made available, we're hoping that they'll make that available to people in our field as educators and children in schools, because of the extra risk that our employees and our children are having to go through to be able to do the things that are important to keep your child on track. So is there any other questions? Elder, would you like to close anything?
Just want to reiterate to parents this importance of the communication. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you. We're so excited about the opportunities you have to connect with your campuses. And so tomorrow at East Grand Prep with Dr. Miranda and the other administrators, and then Mrs. Wade at BP with also her assistant principal. And so those are very important opportunities for you. And next week with Ms. Johnson for the special populations overview. And we look forward to having other guests every week. So next week, we plan to have our coordinator of literacy and biliteracy for academics, and that's Ms. Gabriela Camacho, who will be here to go over some assessments and go over curricular planning and tools that are available for you all at home as well as in person. And so, Mr. Brandon, that's all from my end, and we look forward to continuing these conversations. Thank you.
Well, we're grateful for you joining us this afternoon. We'll be back next week at 2 o'clock for our English version of our parent town hall meeting. And thank you for letting us come in your home or work or wherever you're at. Thank you for trusting us and letting us be part of your family. Good afternoon.